The death of God is the central story of all of humanity. God should not die. God is the creator of all things. God is the source of all life. And so the idea that God could die is impossible for us to comprehend. And because it is so impossible for us to comprehend, it is the most important thing that has ever happened in the history of the universe. And because it is the most important thing that has ever happened in the history of the universe, it is the center of all history. We are defined by our relationship to this story, our relationship to the death of God. And St. Luke, in our Gospel, gives us so many examples of all of the different ways in which human beings related to the death of God. And any of us could be any of these people at any time. We could be the one who betrays Jesus with a kiss, who followed him and loved him until he didn't give us what we want, and then we turned on him and we betrayed him. Or we might be the one who follows him but is too cowardly to stand up when we're challenged, like St. Peter. We could be like the women who are trying to cry for him and he tells them instead to cry for themselves. We could be like Pilate, who fails to stand up for the truth, or like Herod, who is curious about Jesus but grows tired of him and sends him away. We might be like Simon of Cyrene, who helps Jesus carry his cross. We might be like the bad thief, who curses God in his suffering, or the good thief, who finds God in his suffering. We might be like the women who try to bury Jesus. We might be like Joseph of Arimathea, who tries his best but couldn't succeed with the people around him, but at least does the right thing at the end. There are so many ways that we could relate to the story of the death of God. And who we are in relation to the death of God tells us who we are eternally and permanently at our deepest identity. But there is one person in this gospel that all of us are all of the time. And that person is Barabbas. In Hebrew, the name Barabbas means son of the Father. All of us are sons of the Father, but Barabbas was a revolutionary and a murderer. He was a rebel. Well, the first sins of our first parents, Adam rebelled against God, and then Cain killed his brother. Barabbas represents all of humanity and all of our sinfulness. And Barabbas never met the Lord. He never spoke with the Lord. He never talked to the Lord. He never asked the Lord for anything or for mercy. Barabbas was absolutely guilty of sin, and he absolutely deserved crucifixion, which is where he was headed. And yet, Jesus takes his place. Barabbas is let free, and Jesus goes to the cross. And that is all of us. All of us are Barabbas. Because none of us merit what we were given. None of us deserve to be forgiven. All of us are rebels and murderers. And yet, we went free. We go free. Because Jesus takes our place. The Lord goes to the cross instead of us. The Lord saves us, even though we don't deserve it. We are rebels and murderers, and yet we are also sons of the Father, saved by the blood of Jesus.